Okay, for this video, I'm just going to go through quiz 1 and quiz 2 for chemical formulas. Through this session, you should be able to determine how to go about getting the chemical formula of a substance. Okay, now let's start off with quiz 1, okay, or the first worksheet. Now, I think first things first, I'd like to highlight that for you to be able to do chemical formulas, one of the main important things you need to know is learn the formula of the ions. Now, for all of the question 1 over here, okay, most of the things you can get from page 94 of your textbook. Okay, page 94 of your textbook. So, I'll upload the answers, okay, soon on this. But with regards to how to get the formula of the ion, truthfully, most of the time it's about memory work. Or you can refer to what we call the valency of each of the element. Okay? So if you are able to determine the valency of the element, most probably you also know the formula of the ion. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly write out some of them. Okay, so sodium is in group 1. Group 1 element, the valency is 1, so it's Na+. Potassium is in group 1, so valency is 1, so it's K+. Silver is the one of them you have to memorize. It's actually Ag+. Okay, hydrogen ion, because hydrogen is in the middle of the periodic table, so you wouldn't know, you need to remember. So for hydrogen is H+. Ammonium is a complex ion. So complex ions, typically you should memorize them because it's not easy to decipher them. Calcium is in group 2, valency 2, so it's Ca2+. Copper 2, this number 2 over here tells you the valency. So for copper is Cu, it's a metal. Let me erase this. Okay, for copper it is Cu. Okay, because of the valency 2 over here, so it's Cu2+. Now question, most of you were asking, how come all of these are plus? So they all have lost electrons. They all have this metallic property to lose electrons to form ions. So because they lose electrons, so that's why all of them are plus. Magnesium group 2, so Mg2+. Group 2, valency 2, and it's a metal. Zinc, you need to memorize, it's Zn2+. Iron 2, because of the 2 over here, so Fe2+. Aluminium, group 3, so valency 3, so Al3+. Iron 3, so Fe3+. Chromium, Cr, because of the 3 over here, Cr3+. So these are all the ions from A to M. Now let's go on to N. Bromide is in group 7. Group 7 is non-metals. So non-metals tend to form a negative ion, the anions. And because it is group 7, valency is 1. So bromide is Br-. Chloride, Cl-. Hydride is sort of like the opposite of the hydrogen ion. It's hydrogen, but instead of losing electron, it has gained electron. So it's H-. Now, what's going to happen is, okay, so with iodide is in group 7, so valency is 1, so it's an I-. Hydrogen carbonate is one of those you must memorize because it's not easy to decipher. So it's actually HCO3 HCO3-. Okay. Hydroxide is another one you need to remember, so it's OH-. Nitrate is another one you need to remember because it's a complex ion, it's not easy to decipher, so it's NO3-. Carbonate, another one, CO3 2-. Oxide is a oxygen ion. Okay, so group 6, so valency is 2, so O2-. Sulfide, IDE, so S2-. Sulfate, okay, this is SO4 2-. This is a complex ion. Nitrite, IDE, so it's only nitrogen only. So it's group 5. Group 5 valency is 3, so N3-. Last one is phosphate, PO4 3-. We're able to start over here. Now, I just like to highlight one thing, okay? Now, what does all the complex ions mean? So NH4 plus actually means that there's a cluster of atoms together, 1 nitrogen, 4 hydrogen. This is an ammonium cluster. The charge of the cluster is a single plus. Hydrogen carbonate is 1H with CO3. This whole cluster here is known as the hydrogen carbonate. The overall charge of this is a negative. Hydroxide, same thing. OH, the whole thing is a cluster. Negative sign over here. Nitrate, NO3, whole thing is a cluster. Minus charge for the as overall charge. CO3 2 minus means 1 carbon, 3 oxygen, everything clustered together. 2 minus, the whole thing has overall charge of 2 minus. Sulfate is SO4, the whole cluster has an overall charge of 2 minus. And phosphate is a cluster of 1 phosphorus with 4 oxygen. The overall charge of it is 3 minus. So do take note of this as a common ions that you need to know, and please do your best to try to remember them.